In this video, I'm going to show you how you can run unlimited multiple services using just one hosting plan. So a lot of times, what I want to do, like I want to host multiple services, like let's say n8n, a WordPress website, or even my own custom built app, right? Even also you want to do that, but for each of them, what we do basically, we think of buying separate hosting plan. Let's say we want to self-host n8n, or we want to get multiple WordPress website, but for each of them we need separate hosting plans, right? But if we go and buy those things, right, it's going to be very expensive for us because we are going to buy different hosting plan for each services. So in this video I will show you, right, how you can host everything, all your apps, website, tools, and even all the open source project or any web application, right, just using one VPS hosting, right? And I have done that. That is what I'm going to show you. That is really awesome, that you can run unlimited multiple services on a single hosting setup, and I'm going to walk you through everything. First, we'll set up n8n for automations, then WordPress website. You can set up multiple WordPress website if you want, and a ghost newsletter site for sending newsletters using the same VPS. We are going to use a tool called Coolify, right? That is the thing we are going to use, which makes this whole process very easy. And the hosting plan we'll be using is VPS hosting plan from Hostinger. So the combination of Hostinger VPS and Coolify, right, will help us to run the multiple apps, services, and websites, and even our own web application, all in one server, right? That's awesome, right? Coolify basically works like self-hosted platform where you can deploy and manage your services, kind of like a personal Heroku. If you know Heroku is a platform that developer use to run the entire their web application, to deploy the web application. So Coolify is something similar to Heroku or Render, but it is very easy to use. Okay, so with just one VPS server, you will be able to run everything from WordPress, n8n, Ghost, or any custom build application, or anything that you want to be self-hosted, right? That you need to be self-hosted. So that is what I'm going to show you in this video, right? Okay, so now let's go deep into this video. First of all, you need to get a Hostinger VPS plan, and for that you need to follow the link in the description. So when you follow the link in the description, you will come to this page. Okay, go with this plan, KVM2, which is $6.99 per month. It's a 24-month plan, and it is the best one. I also use this plan for VPS hosting. Just select this plan from Hostinger, and once you have selected it, you will see that it is for 24 months. If you reduce the number of the months, the cost will increase, definitely. For example, if you go for the 12 months, it will be $8.14 per month, and if you choose the 1 month, it will be $9.99, which is almost $10 every month. So I recommend going with the $24 month options because you get the best value for the price, right? There is also an option for daily auto backup, and which you need to buy that, but that's not important. You can set up manually later on, right? Or you can use n8n for auto backup. If you have any coupon code, you can definitely apply it here for getting some discounts. And you can also change your server location depending on where you are. So I'll go with India because I'm located here. You can also choose US or some other country, right, depending on your target audience location. Next, you need to select the operating system. That's really important. Okay, you'll search a Coolify, then you'll select it, and then you'll just click on confirm. After that, click continue. Okay, it will ask you to log in. If you don't have an account yet on Hostinger, just create a new one. That's all you have to do. Once you have created your account, you will see a page like this. So then you will be asked to create your password. This will be the password for your VPS. After that, you will land on your VPS dashboard, right? After a couple of times, it might take some time to load, but once everything is done, you will see an overview like this. Okay, and that's it. Those are the steps to follow. So once your Coolify instance is ready, now it's time to access it. So what you will do now, just click on the manage panel. It will open Coolify in a new browser. Okay, now you will see that on the top corner that it is not secure. So, but don't worry about that. Once we create our Coolify account, right, we can secure it by adding our custom domain, and Coolify will enable an SSL certificate, which will definitely going to make it secure. Okay, so now let's get started by creating an account on Coolify. Then we'll go ahead and install all the application we discussed. So to create an account, I'll just type my name and enter my email address. So once I enter my email address, now I will set the password. Right, next I will again enter the password for confirmations, right? And once it's done, I'll just click on register. So as you can see, our account is created, right? Then I will just click on get started. Right, now I will skip the onboarding. Okay, and it takes me straight to the dashboard. As you can see, I'm now inside my dashboard, and now you can see that I have a server which is showing as localhost here. Okay, so now from here, from the dashboard, I'll simply go to the settings. Okay, Once I'm inside the setting, I just need to enter my domain name, right? I'll paste the domain name here. For example, I will type here https coolify.prototools.com. Let's say you have your own domain like prototools.in or example.com. In that case, you just need to add the subdomain part, whatever you want to use. You can also add the full domain, no worry at all. So I hope you understand how to do this part of the settings. Basically, you have any existing domain that's not already connected to any website or service. You can paste that domain here. Even though if it is connected, no worries at all. You can just need to enter the subdomain, right? Then you just add any subdomain like Coolify, okay, .example.com to identify the service easily. Now I'll enter the subdomain name, right? I'll just write here Coolify, and after writing that, I will just click on save. But as you can see, I can't save it yet. Why? Because I need to add DNS record for this subdomain, right? To do that, I need the IP address of my VPS server. So I need to copy the IP address. I can copy the IP address either directly from my hosting dashboard under the root access or directly from here. Okay, I'll just copy the IP address from hosting dashboard. Once I have the IP address, I'll go to my DNS provider, right? The place where my domain is managed. Once you go to the DNS record section, right? Just open your domain and go to the DNS record section. Inside that, you need to create an A record, okay? In the host name field, enter the subdomain you used. In my case, I used Coolify, right? Then in the value or points to field, paste the IP address of your server. TTL can stay as default, right? That's not worry at all. And then just click on create. Once it is created, you can see the record is added. Now all we need to do is to go back to Coolify and click on save it, right? And that's it. We just need to save it again. It may take some time, but a domain will be added successfully. So your domain will be added successfully. So we have done the settings, the domain settings, right? Now if I click save, you can see that it gets saved successfully, right? So this part is done, but there is one more step left. Otherwise our domain won't properly point to prototools.in. For example, if we try to access it from manage panel, it still shows won't work, right? We still land on the page that's not secure. Okay, so to make sure the domain is secure, properly connected, we need to add another A record, this time for the main domain, just not the subdomain. Right now we have only connected the subdomains like coolify.prototools.in, but the main domain also need to point to the same VPS address, I guess, right? I think so. Most of the time the case is not same, because if you just add the subdomain, it's okay and it works, but I don't know why. So let's do that. We'll just add another A record and points to the prototools.in. Okay, so for that we'll go back to our VPS server dashboard and copy the IP address again. After copying the IP, I will return to my domain's DNS settings. Now I will add a record. In the hostname field, I will simply add @ or I can just keep it empty, right? This represents the root domain, okay? Then in the IP field, I will paste the IP address we just copied. I will click on create record. Once that is done, now my domain will be pointed to the IP address, okay, that is VPS server's IP address. Now everything we create under this domain will work properly. For example, if I want to host a WordPress site, okay, I can just add a subdomain like wordpress.prototools.in or blog.prototools.in, right? Or directly we can write prototools.in and it will point correctly to the domain, right? And that's it. Okay, now after some time, I'm going to open Coolify using the subdomain I have pointed it to. Let's check if it is working or not. So in a new tab, I will open coolify.prototools.in and I will hit enter. So as you can see, it's opening. We have a valid SSL certificate added, which means the site is secure now. Now I will just log in since we already have created an account. Okay, after logging in, as you can see, we are now inside Coolify dashboard. So this is how the Coolify dashboard looks like. Okay, from here we can start creating projects and adding the services we want like n8n, WordPress, Ghost, or any services that we want. Or if you want to host multiple n8n sites, we can do that. Multiple WordPress website, we can do that. We can also host any web application, whether it's built with Node.js, Python, or anything else. And the best part, you are doing all with just one VPS server, as I told you before. With just one hosting setup, you can run unlimited multiple services. But you know, unlimited is very exaggerated, right? But actually you have some sort of limitation, right? Because your VPS will be overloaded, right? So you can change the plan for your VPS if you are adding multiple services and if it is getting stuck, right? So you can change the plan. Now let's move on to the next step, that is for extra security. Now, especially if you are planning to host WordPress websites or n8n, right, or anything, any web application, right, or any kind of content platform, we need to make sure that our domain DNS is well protected, right, and our Coolify is well protected. So for that, we'll use Cloudflare. All you have to do is to transfer your domain DNS records to Cloudflare. It's very simple. Just change the name server in your domain settings, right? No matter where your domain is registered, it could be Namecheap, one.com, or even GoDaddy, anywhere, right? Any other provider. Just replace their name server with the ones Cloudflare gives you. Once that is done, your DNS record will be managed by Cloudflare. If you don't know how to do that, you can find tons of tutorials on YouTube. It's really easy. After transferring, you will see all your DNS record inside Cloudflare, just like you saw in one.com. Okay, in my domain provider, you will find all your DNS record already there. Now my domains, that is prototools.in, is already pointing to Coolify instance. Whenever I will open coolify.prototools.in, it will open correctly. This is exactly how multiple websites are hosted using one IP address. So if you have ever seen how managed web hosting works, like that is what it is. They give you one IP and allow you to host multiple websites on it. We are doing same thing here, but using Coolify, which is a different tool and different method. So now let's go back to Coolify and let's say I want to install a service. Let's say I want to install n8n. So first of all, you will go to projects. You will open the projects section and click on add a project. Now you can name it something like websites or automation or web application, right, or anything. I just name it website since it's more general. Okay, then I'll click on continue. After that, I'll go to the production section and click on add a new resource. Now here I will search for the service I want to install. Let's say I want to install n8n. So I will just search for n8n. You will see options like n8n with PostgreSQL or just n8n alone. I'm just going to install only n8n, so I'll go with that. Now before we deploy it, there are a few things we need to do. Okay, you can change the service name something like just n8n or anything you prefer, right? It doesn't really matter, but if you do that, the name would not look cluttered. Okay, what matter is that we need to update the domain settings. So I will go to the service section. Under the services, you will see something like n8n docker, then some path is given there, and below that you will see the domain name area. I'll click on the edit icon there. I'll update the domain name. I'll write something like a subdomain like https n8n.prototools.in, https n8n.prototools.in. Once I have entered that, I'll just click on save and then I'll just save it. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we might need to add the subdomain manually to our DNS. Once I've entered the subdomain name, I'll just click on deploy. It's going to take some time to set up the service. You will see the container started running. You can see that the container has started running, and once it does, you will get the confirmation that it started the service successfully. Once it started, right, I will just close the pop-up window, right, and start and try to open the service. I'll go to the links section and I'll try to open it from there, but it's not opening yet, and that's because we haven't added the subdomain to our DNS records, right? So now I'll go back to Cloudflare to add the subdomain. Inside Cloudflare, under DNS record, I will add a new record using asterisk symbol, which is basically wildcard. Okay, this means it will cover all the subdomains. The moment you put this star or asterisk symbol, it means that it covers all the subdomain you create under this domain. Okay, once that done, then I will paste the server IP address in the value field. Next, I will just save it. Okay, that's it. As I said, if you create any subdomain inside Coolify, it will automatically direct to the correct IP address, okay, because of the wildcard DNS record that we have just added. This means you can create any random subdomains and it will work without any issues. Let's say if you create one website with, let's say, blog1.example.com, then you can create blog2.example.com, right? And you don't have to add the DNS record every time because of this star symbol. Once it is done, I'll go back to the project. I'll open websites project again. I should have opened it already, but let's do it now. Once I'm in, I'll go to the link section again and I'll try to open it, but it looks like still not opening, so I need to wait for some time. After waiting for some time, if I click on links and I try to open it, you will see that n8n opens in a new tab. n8n is working fine. And now I can just create an account, and using some template I can just start creating workflows. Okay, and that's it. The first service is installed. Now I can install as many as version of n8n if I want. Now let's say I want to install WordPress, but this time I want it to be on prototools.in directly, not the subdomains like website.prototools.in, something like that. Okay, since Coolify is already installed on the subdomain, now I want WordPress to be on the main domain, right? That is prototool.in. For that, I'll go back to the dashboard. Then I will go to the project section. Instead of creating a new project, I will just open the existing one called websites. Instead that, I'll click on add resource. From here, I will search for WordPress. You'll see that WordPress with MariaDB, right? That's one we have to select from among all the options. Once I have added that, I will scroll down to the domain section like previous one, and then I'll click on edit and enter the domain as https prototool.in. That's it. Okay, that is where I want the website to be. Then I'll just click on save. Once it is saved, right, I'll just click on deploy to start deploying the WordPress installation. Now one more thing, okay, while it is getting installed, we need to also go back to Cloudflare and make sure everything is secure. So inside Cloudflare, we'll just go to SSL and TLS, right, and under overview, I will make sure that I have the encryption mode is set to full, right. This is important really because this shows that our website is secured with HTTP connection. Next, I'll go to the Edge certificate tab and scroll down below, okay, and you can see that the SSL certificate is issued for any subdomain, right, because of this asterisk mark you can see here, which means that any subdomain under prototools.in is covered, right, and also for prototools.in the SSL certificate is issued. Also make sure to enable always use HTTPS, right. What it does, it forces every connection through HTTPS, okay. It also add an extra layer of security, okay. Coolify already provide an SSL certificate, but this makes sure everything stay encrypted and secure. Once I have done that setting, I'll just come back to Coolify, right, and you can see that our deployment has started, right, that is, it's done. So once it's finished, I will open my WordPress website. Everything is saved, so I'll just click on link and I'll just open it. Boom, you can see that WordPress site is now ready to launch, right. This is really awesome. As I mentioned earlier, we can install multiple services and we are just doing that. Now I'll continue setting up the WordPress. I'll go with English United States, okay, and click on continue. Now I will enter the site title. Let's name it ProtoTools for now, right, and I can change later if needed. Next, I will create a username. You can use any username you like. Then I will set a password, right, which I will change right here. Okay, now after entering the password, I'll enter the email address. Once that is done, I will click on install WordPress, and just like that, WordPress will be installed. As you can see that WordPress is installed. Now as you can see, the setup is complete. Now I will open WordPress and log in, and boom, our WordPress website is fully created, absolutely for free. And now you can start publishing posts, or you can do anything that you want. Now let's say if you want to install Ghost, let me show you how we can do that. I'll go back to Coolify and then back to projects. Whether it is a Ghost website or any other type of service that you want to install, you will find a lot of resources available here. If you scroll down, you will see that there is an option to install Docker, so you can run Docker images also. There are many services you can install, and the best part is that many of them are pre-built and again easy to set up. As I mentioned earlier, Ghost website can also be installed here. In one of my previous videos, I talked about how that I'm running a Ghost website and using Ghost hosting, okay, which cost me $108 per year, and just using the starter plan, and I'm not also getting all the features, right. But here in this setup, you are going to get everything absolutely for free, even the premium features, right, all the features and services, right, in just one place. And top of that, you can create multiple Ghost newsletter platform. As you can see, there are many pre-built open source applications are available. For example, there are Firefly, even Firefox, and a lot of other tools that you can deploy. And right here it is Ghost. You can install Ghost right from here as well, just like normal website. This is really awesome because these are all open source projects that can be hosted easily just with one VPS server. So yeah, that's the beauty of it. You can install WordPress, Ghost, or anything else, or any other content management system from Coolify if it is available, all from here. Now if you want to install Ghost, here what I will do, I will search Ghost, you will see that it appears here. Next I'll click on it, I'll open it, and then what I will do, then I will add the subdomain like blogs.prototools.in. Once that is done, I will just click on save. Now all I need to do is to click on deploy, right? And that's it. Ghost will start installing, and that is the steps you need to follow. Okay, now what is the most important thing? How do you update any service in Coolify? Because every service need updates from time to time, whether it's WordPress, Ghost, or n8n or any service. There is a very simple way to update services or application inside Coolify, and let me show you that. We have installed a WordPress website. Now let's say it has an update, a new version of WordPress is available, and you want to update that. If you are using a managed web hosting, right, updates happen automatically. You'll just get a notification inside WordPress and you'll just click on updates, and that's done. But since we are doing self-hosting using Coolify, we need to handle updates ourselves. So to update WordPress on Coolify, we need to do it manually. We will open our projects and go to where the WordPress is installed, right? I'll open mine now, right? Then I will go to the WordPress service. By the way, you can also rename these services. As you can see, this looks so cluttered, okay? And it looks so messy. Like for example, mine shows something like WordPress with MariaDB, then some code beside it. I can just rename it WordPress, okay? And for n8n, I'll just name it n8n to keep it clean and simple. Now let's say you want to update your WordPress website. First open WordPress service, okay? Then you will need to stop it. Just stop the container. Once it stops, you will redeploy it. But before you redeploy, it is very important to make sure that your data is saved properly. So what you will do, you will make sure that database and all your WordPress files are backed up, so nothing get lost when you redeploy. So Coolify has something, like it automatically handles persistent storage, right? Something called persistent storage, which helps with this. If you go to the persistent storage section, you will see the volume name and the destination path. Okay, that actually confirms that your WordPress data is saved on your VPS server. You will also see that MariaDB data is also saved, and it has its own volume and path similar to WordPress. But to make sure or to confirm that, right, that it is saving on the server, we will use some strategy just for confirmation. Okay, so I'll go to my Hostinger VPS server and I will open the terminal from there, right? So to open the terminal, I'll just click on browse terminal, which actually connect with SSH. So once the terminal is open, what we will do now, we will run some comments there to check if our data is saved inside the VPS. Okay, all the WordPress database. I have put all the comments inside a PDF, and you can find the link to the PDF in the description of this video. Now one thing that you don't have to worry, right? This step is not mandatory, but I just want to make sure everything is working before doing an update, and you can also confirm that. First command is docker volume ls. Okay, now since we are already connected through SSH, so the first step is not important for us, right? So that is why you are going with the second step, that is docker volume ls. So I'll copy this comment and I will paste it in the terminal. So once I run this comment inside the terminal, right, and you can see that the volume names are listed. As you can see, the volume that contains the WordPress files is listed here, right? It matches what exactly we saw in Coolify, right? And the MariaDB volume is also listed, and there are some other databases as well. Next, I want to check inside the WordPress volume to see if the actual files like post, pages, settings, and my profile name, everything is present there or not. So I'll go back to the PDF and I'll copy the next comment. I'll select it and I'll just simply copy it and I'll just simply paste it into the terminal, right? Next, I'll run it, and after running it, you can see that all the WordPress files show up. Like WP settings, WP comments, .php, WP config, WP login, and many others. That confirms all the data is saved and stored in the VPS. We can also do the same check for the MariaDB data if needed. Now if you want to back up your WordPress file, there is a comment for that as well. It's actually shown in the PDF. Okay, just one thing, remember that replace the volume name. Okay, right, in case in this document it is given my volume name, but you have to replace with your own, right, your actual volume, right? So you just need to replace that for all the comments that I've given and just use it and just paste it and run it. Okay, once you run the comment for backup, it will create a tar file which you can download as a backup, and that's it. Those are the steps you need to follow to confirm your data is safe and perform a backup before updating. You will also find some other helpful instruction in the PDF if you need to go deeper. So yeah, this confirms that everything is saved properly and we are good to go with the updates. Now for better updates, especially if you don't want to risk of losing data, your post or images, or media or anything, here what we can do, we can install a backup plugin inside WordPress. So I'll go to my WordPress website. Once it opens, I will head over to the dashboard and go to the plugins section. Now we will add a new plugin. The one we need we call Updrop Plus. You can search inside the WordPress, right? But just typing Updrop in the plugin search bar, right? You'll just go to the plugin search bar and search the Updrop, okay? And then you will see the Updrop Plus WordPress backup plugin, right? And that's the one we want. So I'll go ahead and install it. Once it is installed, I'll just activate it. This plugin can automatically backup, okay, everything you do inside your WordPress site. It will be automatically done, right? You just need to do some settings. You can even export the backups, okay? You can save all these backups to services like Google Drive, Dropbox, Amazon S3 bucket, or even Google Cloud, right? So you can choose whichever storage you prefer. Now I'll go to the plugin setting to set things up, and from there I'll click on backup now to start the backup process manually. Even though this step is not always necessary, but I still recommend doing it, especially if you have a plan to move your site or make changes, right? Let's say you want to move somewhere, then you can do that. It gives you a solid backup just in case. Okay, once the initial backup is done, you'll also want to set up automatic daily backups. So for that, go to the settings in the Updrop Plus, and under file backup schedule and database backup schedule, change them manual to daily. So what happens, this makes sure that your backups are created automatically every day without you needing to do anything. Next, choose your remote storage. You can connect Google Drive, Dropbox, or even S3, right? I'm going to use Google Drive here. Just click on Google Drive, then sign in with your Google account to give permission. Once it's connected, everything will be saved there securely. After that, scroll down and click Save Changes, and you are done. Okay, and that's all you need to do for the free version of the plugin, right? It works great and should be enough for the most user, right? I don't think you need the paid version. Now once everything is backed up, now let's say you want to upgrade WordPress itself to a new version. So we'll go back to Coolify. Okay, once you are inside Coolify, go to your WordPress service section, okay, and simply stop the container, right? After stopping it, you will able to deploy with the latest version. You just click on stop, okay, and then you will click on continue and then confirm. Now once you see that everything is ready here, what is the next step? You just need to click on deploy, right? So first of all, you have to make sure that everything is ready, right? And then only you click on deploy. This is how we redeploy the service. It will start in a few seconds. Right now it is downloading, and after a few time it has started. Let's check the WordPress website again. I will click on links and open it. After opening it, you can see that all the posts are still there. Now I'll go back to the dashboard to check if the plugins and everything else are still in place, or if anything got deleted after the update. So after going there, you can see all the plugins are still there. Everything is there, right? The pages are there, the posts are there, my username and all the other information is there. So nothing got deleted, everything is safe. Even if you don't have the Updrop Plus plugin installed, right, everything still will be saved, right? Because I've already shown you through the SSH, right, through those comments. So that's it. This is how you can run multiple services on a single hosting using Coolify. Right, you can create multiple projects, host your own servers, and manage everything in one place. If you want to scale further and even host more services, you can add additional servers too. Let's say you get another VPS or another hosting provider, right? You can just connect it by adding new servers IP address inside Coolify. All you need to do, add the token host, and then you can start deploying more services independently to the server. That's it. This becomes the permanent solution for hosting all your services. You don't need anything else. Right, so that's the end of this video. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions or you need any information, feel free to ask, and also check the link in the description.